Hi, it's Mark Owen from Moose Smug PR, the editor of Punchline magazine. Today I'm with Richard Graham, MP for Gloucester. Richard, very nice for you to join us here in the Punchline office. Thanks ever so much. Great news on the weekend. The railway station, £1.7 million investment. Can you tell me what that means for Gloucester, please? And will it increase faster trains south to north and north to south?
So, Mark, thanks. Great to be with Punchline. Gloucester Day was a day when we had four major announcements, of which this was the first one. We already had 3.75 million from the government via the LEP to do the crucial works of the underpass, a new exit out of the car park onto Metz Way, and some other work around the station. Then we got a further £500,000 from the LEP because actually the original funds weren't going to be enough. It's more complicated than was originally thought. And then on Friday, I got the good news from the Rail Minister that we've now won an additional 1.7 million. This is from the Great Western Railway Station Improvement Fund. It has to be signed off by the Department for Transport. And what this means is that all the bits that we couldn't do are now going to be done. So, for example, we're going to have solar panels on the roof of the station. We're going to try and go for a zero carbon station. We're going to have more electric charging points in the original car park. We're going to have more bike racks. We're going to have 300,000 to make it very disability friendly. The forecourt is going to be improved. There'll be a new bus stop. And that turn onto Bruton Way, which is sort of 270-degree turn, that will be sorted out as well. So a £6 million package, and work starts on the underground by the end, on the underpass, by the end of this year. So it's good news for everybody, and particularly those obviously who are using the railway station as the crucial arrival point, whether residents or visitors.
Now, second part of the news that came out on Gloucester Day was obviously the new King's Quarter development and the plans for the digital forum. What do you think that means for Gloucester, and will they actually ever get it off the ground? These plans have been going around for a long time.
So there have been lots of false dawns in King Square over the years for various reasons, and so understandably people in Gloucester are pretty sceptical. They'll believe it when they see it, is the general approach. This time round it's different. Work is starting in the middle of October, so only just over a month's time. That's the £5 million that the City Council are going to invest in improving the square itself, and then the joint venture project with Reef starts work, of which the most exciting element is undoubtedly the new forum. This will be on the old bus station site. It will include a new good hotel, but it will also have high-spec and high-tech offices and accommodation, as well as bits to support that, like a gym and a bar and so on. The idea is to attract really good entrepreneurs who are particularly interested in cyber business. And many people don't realise that actually GCHQ is in Gloucester as well as Cheltenham. They don't realise that BAE Systems, Babcock, Lockheed Martin and Raytheon all have their cyber headquarters here in Gloucester. So this is an opportunity for small spin-offs and entrepreneurs to get their cyber and their high-tech businesses going, based in the centre of Gloucester, with attractive shopping and cultural activities all around them and great connectivity on bus or train as well.
And my third question for you, the Gloucestershire Jobs, Skills and Apprentices Forum. I know that you've really worked extremely hard to get this off the ground. What is it? When is it? And should other businesses get involved? Who should be involved in this?
So the Gloucestershire Jobs, Skills and Apprenticeships Liftoff, Glos Lift Off for short, that's the name of the website, Glos Lift Off, and Twitter account. This is all about recognising that 90,000 people in our county are currently furloughed, 20,000 of them in Gloucester. There is going to be a jobs crisis, undoubtedly, when all the furlough schemes come to an end. And therefore what we as a county have to do is work out how best we can help both young and older people who are looking for jobs, looking to reskill, looking to get new jobs, or just out of a job. And this Liftoff will bring together the public and the private sector physically in Kingsholm on Friday the 11th of September, all day long. Go on to the glosliftoff.co.uk site to register, because everyone has to register for track and trace, very safety focused. But also this will be live streamed, every event there, every session on interviews, CVs, obstacles for people in the BAME community, opportunities in cyber and aviation, all these things will be live streamed. They'll be on the website, so anybody can see them. And therefore this is a great opportunity for small businesses to come to learn about how to digitalise their business, how to make it work better. And I encourage everyone, young and old, to really have a good look at Glos Lift Off. The new Kickstarters will be a key part of this.
Now it's funny. My fourth question actually is: you mentioned the furlough scheme. Should it be extended? You know, the aviation industry has been absolutely hammered. The car industry is slowly getting there, but other things like the nighttime economy, nightclub owners, all the rest of it, they're still struggling. The event management. Should it be? Do you feel it should be extended now?
So I think there are different ways of helping different people in different sectors. Clearly the Eat Out to Help Out scheme has been a massive success, and the changes on VAT mean that many businesses have got much higher margins now, particularly in the hospitality sector, than they did have for the next 6 months. In terms of the aviation sector, what I'm hearing from the major contractors for Airbus, for example, is that business is down by about a third from what it normally is. There have been some redundancies, but that they're hoping this is going to pick up fairly quickly. So we'll have to look at whether more is needed to make sure that highly skilled engineers don't leave that sector. But in terms of other sectors in general, we can't go on pretending that it's right for people to sit at home doing nothing while receiving 80% of their salary paid by other taxpayers. That's not the best way forward. And so we're going to have to be creative about things like the Kickstarters to give people opportunities to use their skills and upskill them and reskill them to make sure that they do get the opportunities that are out there. Because in every crisis, and remember this is a crisis from a pandemic, not an economic crisis in its own right, there are opportunities as well.
My fifth and final question, Brexit. Lots of reports on the weekend with the EU. It all looks like it might stall. What's your ongoing thoughts about that actually in Parliament and what you're hearing on the ground?
So it's very hard to read whether the current vibes coming out of Europe and out of Whitehall are going to lead to a deal or not to a deal. I think the most important thing is that we have to try incredibly hard to make sure that we can make life as easy for businesses as possible to export. But if we can't get a deal because, for example, the EU won't let us use our own state aid where we want to, then we may have to decide that we need that full independence of decision making in order to make sure that we come out of this pandemic in the best possible shape. That's the dilemma the government is wrestling with. I do think they still want a deal, but it will have to be on the right terms.
Richard, thanks for joining us today. Oh, okay, one other question.
One last thought was I didn't answer your point about trains. That's separate from the investment going on at the station. And yes, we have already agreed with the Department of Transport and Great Western Railways that there will be an additional every half-hour service to Bristol starting next year. Now, clearly trains are in a real pickle at the moment. They're running at a tiny percentage of normal passengers on them. So we have to see how the reprivatisation of the train operators goes and what the level of services are going to be. But that was the commitment made, and I hope we'll be able to keep to it.
Richard, thanks for joining us this morning at Punchline Talks.